Hello, and welcome to Anonymous Tea Ministry. It's time to make some distinctions between the spirit self and the egoic animal self. We may learn how to easily discern their differences in priorities, attributes, and actions, and we must understand how and why we would benefit from cultivating our spirit self. Let's start with money. The spirit self lacks in nothing. The spirit self treats money as a utility, as a tool for survival. Money flows freely to and from the spirit self. Money may also be a sort of creative energy. Generally, the more money we have, the more creative we may be. For example, if you want to create a painting, you need to first acquire an easel, paint brushes, and a canvas. The egoic self, the animal self, treats money as something it always needs and is always lacking in. The animal can never get enough money, the same way a bear can never get enough salmon before hibernation. The animal is scared of death, fight, or flight, and because money is a survival tool, the animal desperately chases after it. The ego also attaches pride to the amount of money it has. Once the ego has enough to survive, any additional amount of money is then used for luxury and prideful displays. Material goods, physical treasures, the spirit finds little use for these things. The spirit knows that what was new and expensive 10 years ago is now likely trash. All material things corrode, rust, and fade, so the spirit never chases after these things. To the ego animal, physical treasures are treasure. There is not much the ego animal won't do for money or material goods. People kill, sell their bodies, sell their time, lie, cheat, steal, and oppress others. And when the ego finally has an abundance, it doesn't give back. Instead, it selfishly hoards. Spirit exists within an infinite eternity of limitless possibility. It is naturally patient because its existence is outside of space and time. The spirit within advises us that the bad is temporary, and so is the good. Spirit takes part in sport, art, and creativity for the joy of creation in the moment, not for competition. The animal self views all as a competition. It hunts and kills for sport. It is subject to various addictions and obsessions, while the spirit may take it or leave it. Animals consume, spirit creates. Spirit laughs with others, the animal ego laughs at others. It exists within space and time, existing in a limited, temporary form of physical matter. Spirit is of the ethereal. It is light, energy, consciousness. It is deathless. The animal is flesh and bone, full of blood, only a breath and a heartbeat away from death. The Buddha teaches that suffering is caused by desire and craving, which is produced by the animal ego self. The animal may be used as a tool in institutions of oppression, like corporate or government. The animal is ignorant, fails to realize that karma exists or forgets it, and makes selfish choices in the moment. The animal self is a sheep. It goes with the crowd and may be easily led and fooled. The animal ego self craves power over others. Spirit is one with others. If we accept just these distinctions so far, there isn't a choice to be made. We will choose to live in spirit. But to actually do this in reality is another matter. It is difficult because we are still in the body. It requires that we become almost a whole new person. It requires us to be born again. From the Bible, the New Testament, John 3:3-6. Jesus replied, "Very truly I tell you, no one can see the kingdom of God unless they are born again." "How can someone be born when they are old?" Nicodemus asked. "Surely they cannot enter a second time into the mother's womb to be born." Jesus answered, "Very truly I tell you, no one can enter the kingdom of God unless they are born of water and the Spirit. Flesh gives birth to flesh, but the Spirit gives birth to spirit." We are all born of water, of flesh, and we all have the ability to be born again as spirit. The birthing process for a mother is painful, and the process of being reborn as spirit may be painful as well. In practical terms, it means changing habits in the way we think, monitoring our thoughts because our thoughts create our reality. It means viewing things eternally, always keeping in mind that matter is temporary. It means giving up pride and giving up various habits that make up a complete lifestyle. It requires us to move from selfishness to selflessness. It certainly takes a leap of faith to change and start living by spirit. To believe in something beyond this physical realm goes against our animal instincts. Like the birthing process, it may take a while and may require some pushing. From the Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 2, The Illumined Man. There are ignorant people who speak flowery words and take delight in the letter of the law, saying there is nothing else. Their hearts are full of selfish desires. Their idea of heaven is their own enjoyment, and the aim of all their activities is pleasure and power. The fruit of their actions is continual rebirth. Those whose minds are swept away by the pursuit of pleasure and power are incapable of following the supreme goal and will not attain samadhi. Our animal self aims for pleasure and power, and the animal mind, the ego mind, its thoughts are swept away by these pursuits. This is why rebirth in a spiritual sense starts with controlling and empowering our thoughts. If we do this first, correct action will follow. If we do not rebirth ourselves as spirit, then we are simply subject to the laws of karma and reincarnation. To not pursue power, earthly success, money, pleasure, to not be competitive, these are very foreign concepts to most people. To most people, all of this makes no sense. That's because these things are the ways of this world. From John 8:23. And Jesus said to them, "You are from beneath, I am from above. You are of this world, I am not of this world." To be in this world, but not of it, is a popular phrase for many Christians. As spiritual beings occupying a temporary physical body, this is truth. It's the same thing as when we say we are spiritual beings having a human experience. It should be noted that this doesn't mean we need to totally renounce all of our earthly pursuits, but they need to be kept in perspective. At times, we should restrain ourselves, and we should view them for what they are, temporary and fleeting physical expressions. Cultivating spirit is the same thing as growing our light. It's the same thing as raising our frequency and vibration. In practical terms, these are some of the ways we may grow our light. Love unconditionally and without expectation. Center your consciousness in the present moment and on breath awareness. Create something. Participate in sport, art, music, dance. Help others. Give to others. Care for animals. Meditate alone and in groups. Practice yoga, exercise, use gratitude. Smile, laugh, listen to good music. Spend time in nature and in water. Spend time with family and friends. Take a walk in nature. Stargaze. Have faith. Have faith that no matter what happens to you, no matter what encounters you have, know that everything is unfolding with your best interest in mind. These are just some of the things we can do to grow our light. Remember, living by the Spirit is fun and full of joy. Make the conscious decision today to be born again. Pray and ask for guidance, knowledge, and light. When you make this conscious decision, you will be led supernaturally. And when you are led by the Spirit, you will only succeed. That's it for Distinctions. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you for watching.